Greetings, kindred spirits, and happy new beginnings. Literally, we've got the Chinese New Year, we've got the new moon, and we're coming up towards the spring equinox as well next month. So, the weeks seem to be flying by pretty quick, which is good because it's really dark, cold, and dismal here in the northern hemisphere. It's really hard to stay motivated for many of us right now. There seems to be a lot of distractions and stuff going on as well. So let's get into the new moon. So the new moon begins in Capricorn in the true lifetime sky at 21:42 in the GMT time zone, at 16:42 in the EDT time zone, and on the 25th of January at 8:42 in the AEDT time zone. The new moon in Capricorn, well, the moon in Capricorn in general, they have a great need for structure. But as our new moon begins, she will be in square to Uranus, who's transiting in Aries, and this energy couldn't be any different. So, expect the energy to be very restless and undisciplined. We can see sudden turns in events, either in our personal lives or globally. Or there could be a change of heart. Maybe you've made plans with someone and, all of a sudden things turn upside down and they're just not in the mood. Or, just expect the distractions to continue, because I feel these have been occurring already. Well, they definitely have in my life anyway. So another thing with this aspect is that it tends to cause us to push past boundaries when it comes to the urge to achieve something. Capricorn is recognised as one of the most hardest workers in the zodiac. So when it's square to Aries, this can ramp up the energy levels, which in its extreme can be quite explosive, but definitely disruptive. This square has a strong numerological 4 energy as well, since the sun and moon are at 4 degrees, and so is Uranus. So as much as 4 in general does demonstrate stability, I think under this particular climate, it seems to be more connected to the shadow side, instigating emotional disturbances, rebellion, and also chain reactions. We need to also watch out for our health under this aspect. This energy is also very competitive and self-serving. But, I think the most important thing is to beware of pushing ourselves too hard. Because under this energy, it's too weak to be constructive, but too forceful to be practical or reasonable. So it's a bit like highs and lows, really. So what really puts an emphasis on the shadow of this new moon is the T-square, which is formed by the North Node in opposition to the South Node, Jupiter and the goddess Pallas. And all 3 are in square to Chiron, who's the wounded healer, and the Black Moon Lilith. So karma has definitely been a theme for a while now, and some have received a few blessings over the last month or so, whilst others have been opening up their eyes and coming to terms with habits or behaviour patterns and, the law of attraction. But there has also been a great sense of loss amongst the collective's energy. There's been a lot to process over the last few years when it comes to losing loved ones or things that were once considered precious or gave us a false sense of security. We have been pushed very hard over the last few years in all aspects of our lives. Mentally, emotionally, physically, materially, and spiritually. For some, it's been a blessing. Mostly for those that are adept at going with the flow. But for others, it really has been a test of faith, especially self-faith. It's time to let go of the pain of the past and get ready to embrace the new. Whether that's in relationship wounds or childhood wounds, because they are still the focus under this current climate. The build up to this year 2020 has been very intense and heavy. But now the energies are shifting and stirring up a lot of agitation or anxiety. So we must continue to work on our inner peace and create a sense of harmony, with the universe rather than the material things in life. Because when we are truly aligned, we find that beautiful things appear on our path naturally and without too much effort. It's only that limited thinking mode that prevents us from achieving what we truly desire. Now, we must also show gratitude for what we do have and not dwell on the things we don't. Authenticity is the name of the game here and will be throughout this year, as well as standing in our own individuality and self-power as an enlightened being. We are really being pushed into becoming more aligned with our true soul purpose and to allow for things to unfold in their own unique time. We may feel like there is a rush to get things moving, but the timing isn't right at present because our ability to focus is still hard to maintain with all the constant distractions or last-minute changes. We are also entering into the Chinese New Year of the metal rat on the next day, the day after the new moon, on the 25th of January. And the rat is actually the first sign of the Chinese zodiac. So this year is definitely a year for transformation when it comes to growth and new beginnings. We will be adapting to a lot of changes moving forward when it comes to traditional systems, and we are already seeing that, especially here in the UK. And we were seeing all the signs for that last year. So the rat year is all about love and money, a bit like Venus really, who happens to be in conjunction to Neptune in Aquarius this new moon, which can be a little bit emotionally inhibiting when it comes to being able to express our feelings. But the year of the rat is really about networking and collaboration, whether it's to do with business or love. The most important thing this year is to work towards building strong foundations to align with the energies coming in, and I really do feel that many of us are. So as usual, I recommend meditation, yoga and grounding techniques to keep us focused and open-minded. I also recommend wearing or using bright colours to keep our vibrations high, especially yellow or orange. Also, daily positive affirmations will also be very uplifting. So it's still, pretty dark energy or slow-moving energy, but there's like little shock waves coming in between. So, we mustn't get complacent, but we mustn't be on edge all the time either. Just try and go with the flow. And I know I keep saying that, but, we've still got to get to the spring equinox and we're still rounding up 2019. So keep the faith, everybody. Sending you peace and much love.